So this example looks at the negative function. So we're going to implement negative, and I encourage you to do this along with me. It gives you practice typing in the code. You may make some syntax errors that you have to go back and fix, and so it's just good practice, even though we're just typing in an example from the textbook and from the slides. I still encourage you to go ahead and type this code in. So the negative function works by taking the current RGB values of our image and basically just reversing them. That is, subtracting them from the maximum RGB values that we can have, which is 255. So I'm going to define negative, and I'm going to pass it in a picture. And then, like our other functions, we're going to loop over all the pixels. And then we're going to get the red, green, and blue values for the pixel px. I called it px this time. You can call it p. As long as you're consistent throughout the function, it doesn't make any difference. So I'm going to get the current red value of the pixel. Notice this is turning purple, and the reason is because there's a predefined red value, which is okay. We're just going to be redefining it. Or we could call it, if we wanted to, like current red. We'll get red for the pixel. So this is slightly different from the slides, but it's doing the same thing. Red, green, get green from the pixel, and get the current blue. For the pixel. So now we have the current red, green, and blue values, and so now what we want to do is we want to create a new color. Negative color is equal to make color, and we're just going to pass it the red, green, and blue values subtracted from 255. So 255 minus the current red, 255 minus the current green, and 255 minus the current blue. So we're just creating a new color that's basically the opposite of the current color. And then we're going to set the color. So instead of setting red, green, and blue, we're going to set the color of the pixel to the negative color. We could have set each of these red, green, and blue values individually rather than making a color, but this is a little bit easier. All right, so we're going to load this program. And so we need to save it. And I'm going to save this in negative.py. And I'm going to load it. Uh-oh, I have an error here. It says I have one error. What is it? Let me see. Oh, I have an equal sign instead of a minus. Okay. So fix that, load it, save it, yes, okay. Now I want to again get a picture that I can negate. So I'm going to pick a file. And I like, for negative, I like that butterfly 2 file that's in the media sources, but you can do negative with any of them. And then I'm going to make a picture. Fly equal make picture file. And I'm going to show the butterfly. And there it is. And now I'm going to negate it. Negative butterfly. And hit enter. Takes a little bit longer than the previous functions because it's getting all of the colors and making a new color. Now if we repaint butterfly, should be the negative value, which it is. And then the neat thing about negative is if we call it again and repaint the butterfly, we see we're back to our original. So if we negate the negative, we get the original image back. Something else that's kind of fun to do, although it slows your code down, but it's kind of neat just to see what's going on, is you can repaint your image inside the loop where you're changing the pixels. Now this is definitely going to slow our function down, but just to sort of see what's going on, it's kind of a cool thing to do. So now I'm just going to call negative butterfly again, and I can see as each of the pixels is changing, I can see as it goes across the rows, it's changing the colors. So this is the negative function. It is just taking the RGB values and computing the opposite and changing the color. So that's it for the negative function.